battle for your birchie.
Yes, welcome everybody to the third and last qualifier event of the eSAILING Champions League. My name is Olli. I'm sitting here in the studio in cold Germany, and we are very much looking forward for this beautiful event. Today is, as I said, the third qualifier, and 76 clubs will battle today for the qualification to the final. These 76 clubs are divided into 4 groups. Each group is up to 19 players, which are representing their clubs, and they're going to sail 5 races overall. The top 16, so the top 4 out of each group, will be qualified into the final. So it's a very interesting day. We're going to have 4 groups, and together with me, because I'm not alone, I'm sitting here in the studio in Kiel. And another team who is supporting me today for this broadcasting will be Ole and Till, 2 well-known sailors who had a training session today in beautiful Kiel. And they are sitting in their apartment. I think it's the Grandma apartment, and perhaps we can freeze them in now that we can. There they are. Welcome, Till, and welcome, Ole. So I heard you had a good day on the water. How was it today?
Yeah, it was quite windy and quite cold, so it was exhausting. But we are happy that we are allowed to sail, and we need to train for the upcoming season.
So you are really sitting on Grandma's sofa, Ole, right?
It is Grandma's sofa. So we are sitting here in her house, which is located at the beach in Dabö. It's beautiful scenery. You can't see it now, but we can see it. So we are looking forward to a very nice evening with a nice view and nice races.
How is the situation in Kiel with Corona? So obviously we are able to sail, but we have, really tough Corona restrictions, or is it flexible?
They are there. So we have a concept, a testing and a hygienic concept, which we are allowed to sail with, and we are about 10 or 12, no, more than 12 clubs here.
12 clubs
overall, wow. I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. In 2 groups, and we started yesterday, and we will proceed to Monday. So 5 days of racing. The first half of the day is just training skills and maneuvers, and the second half of the day is racing in the league format. So very exhausting, like Till said.
So you're both
happy to sit on the sofa.
You're both sitting on one boat, right? And I think, Till, you're the skipper and the helmsman of the Mühlenberger Segelclub. I think out of the 3 of us, you are the expert in eSailing, right? Can you give us a bit of background about your passion of eSailing and what you achieved?
Yeah, I mean, talking about the passion, I think it's pretty close to actual sailing. So this is what I like about it, and what drove me to sail last year, the eSAILING Bundesliga, which I could win. I was quite surprised, but I managed to do it. And 4 weeks ago, I qualified for the final for the Champions League. I'm pretty happy about that. And yeah, that makes me the expert, I guess.
Yeah, so I think it's good to have you on board, because, I'm not an eSailing expert, so there are a lot of aspects during the race which we probably can analyze to show the audience how it works and what are the tips and tricks to win a race like that. There are a couple of similarities to the real sailing, but there are also a couple of differences, right? I mean, we have boat against boat. We have very short racing, which is very similar. But what is the difference the big difference to real sailing if you go on these eSailing format, Till?
I think a big difference is that we don't have the normal penalty system we have in regular sailing, because that's not possible. So if one boat touches another and gets a penalty, it just gets invisible and slowed down for, I think it was 9 or 10 seconds. That's a big difference. And then the whole thing, how you don't lose any time, or not much time, when you do a jibe or a tag. So that's a big difference. But overall, you need to follow the same rules. mostly in a tactical way.
So you think eSailing is anyhow a good practice even for real sailors to get familiar with starting procedures and position at the start, or is it is there a big difference to the real Champions League?
I don't think you can put it that way, but you can put it the other way, that all of these successful e-sailors are regular sailors as well. So this helps a lot. You can't just start the game when we're not experienced in sailing. So I think that's at least the point. Yeah.
When we're talking about e-sailing, one question I have, because we are parallel to the Champions League, not today, but next week, we organized together with our partners Nord Stream an offshore game. I mean, Virtual Regatta is offering two different games. One is inshore, which we are going to sail today, and there's an offshore game as well. And we learned a lot about, offshore and inshore. Have you any experience with offshore e-sailing gaming, or do you just focusing on these short racing inshore?
Me and Joni, who is sailing today as well for Überling, we sailed together the Vendée Globe and the Nord Stream race, but we were not that successful because especially in the Vendée Globe, you need to be online for like 3 months straight every night. You need to adjust your route, and we couldn't keep up with the tempo of the first boat, so we really lost interest. But we finished in the end, like I think 20 days later than everyone else.
Oh, but you made it to the finish, which is good.
Yes.
Okay. Probably we can go into a little bit into the groups, or give you a little bit of statistics. As I said, we're going to have 4 groups today. So in each group we have different clubs from many different nations. So overall we are 228 clubs. And I learned that overall we have, it's not much, but it's a starting point. We have 3 women who are representing their clubs, not today, but overall. So I think we need to work hard on getting more girls on board to start this game. In the offshore world, till it's very French-driven. So a lot of French people are, using this game. I think in inshore it's more international, right?
Yes. The French community is pretty strong, but the same goes with the Italian and the Spanish community and the British. So that's pretty balanced, I guess. Yeah.
I think one guy who is very interesting today, you already mentioned Jonathan Koch. He's a very well-known e-sailer in Germany, but the overall world champion in e-sailing, it's Johan Cardone from Real Club Náutico Palma from Spain. He's in Group B today. I think we're going to observe him and going to see his tips and tricks. He must be very good. Did you ever sail against him?
Yes, I did. I can't remember when the last time, but I did. And he's sailing the Sail GP in regular sailing as well. So this is pretty interesting about him, that he's so successful in both the game and the real sailing. But yeah, I think we have a lot of strong sailors today. Johan won the Worlds, quite impressive last year, but Joni, for example, his skill level is not far beyond him. So yeah, it's going to be really close.
Okay. All right. So one question to my team. How much time do we have to go into the race? Can you just give me a tip? How long will it take? Or do we need to do we have time enough to talk about other topics regarding e-sailing? Or how long does it take for the first start? Okay, I just heard 1 minute. So there's 1 minute to the start. I think we are jumping into the first race. Which group we are going to see now? I think we have, as I said, 4 different groups. It's a colorful mix of different clubs representing their country and their club. I mean it's an important day because we already have a couple of qualifiers from the last events. Just to give you a brief overview, who is qualified. So we have, for example, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, France, a couple of German clubs. Great Britain is already qualified. 3 clubs from Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, and Turkey. So as you can see, a very interesting international team. And now we are in the start phase of one question to my teams and my editor. Which group is it we are in? It's Group A. Okay, we are now watching Group A. Till, what is the important factor now in the beforehand, before the start? I think we have now 24 seconds to the start. What are the key elements now to position yourself? What do you have to look for?
Yeah, you have to look on the top left of your screen that you check where the wind is going to shift to, and you have to check how the starting line is being balanced, if there's an advantage on one of these sides, and then you just need to get a good timing for the start, because in this qualifier we see today, we don't have any discards, so you need to be really consistent. And so I chose, when I sailed some weeks ago, that I always choose the safest starting option I have, so that I don't get any high numbers for the first races. And yeah, but
so the good thing is for us, we always have the kind of helicopter view over the race area. I think this is a perspective all the sailors love to have. So for me, it looks a little bit that the left-hand side was had a little bit more wind. What do you guys think? You think the left side is the preferred one, or what will be the trend for this race?
Yeah, we're going to a right shift on the left-hand side, as you can see on the top of the small map. There's a small right shift, and I think the fleet is orientating to this left side because they're waiting for the back shift, maybe.
It's really important in this game, when you sail J70, that the difference of the wind strength doesn't really matter. The boat is not getting faster when you get more wind, so you only sail for these shifts. So you only want to take a look at the top left mark and see which shift is not going to come next. But right now, as you are all already mentioned, the left side seems to be favored. We see a right shift coming, but so far the boats on the left side are looking good.
Yeah, for everybody who can see, there's a small mini-map on the left-hand side of the screen. There you can see, and this is a nice overview now. You can see where the dark area is. This is where we have more wind. And it seems to be that really the left-hand side turned out to be the better one. In the leading position, it's not Krüger Dago from, I think, Lithuania, but Torbjørn from Denmark. There you can see he is kind of leading. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see there will be the first mark, and now they have to jibe away. So it's still a way to go.
Yeah, and there was a big righty on the whole racing area, so it was quite expensive to come from the left-hand side, as you can see.
Yes, so there we can see the first mark. Yeah, there's the first mark, and we can see that the boats who decided to go through the middle of the course, they have a bit of advantage, right?
Yeah.
So in the first part of the upwind, it was more the left, everybody expecting to get a shift from the left-hand side, but the closer they get to the first mark, the middle turned out to be better. And now they are getting closer to the first mark rounding here. It's a nice perspective here. And we can see the yellow boat, he's leading. It seems to be the French team, Theo CVB. Let me double check where he's, which club he's representing. Club de Vol de Bonifacio. So there's one team from Bonifacio who is leading. Now they rounded the second mark. What is now the strategy for the sailors? What do they have to look for, Till? I mean, you can see the wind shadow of the Janakers. How much influence do they have?
This has a big influence. If you are in the full wind shadow of another boat, this is a huge disadvantage for you. On the downwind, you do exactly the opposite from the upwind. So you don't need to focus so much on the shift. You just take a look at where do you find more wind. This is way more important, and this is why the most people already jibe, because on the right downwind side there is not that much wind. So this is the one you should focus on. But it doesn't matter when you don't need, if you have more wind, but you have a big wind shadow from another boat, then it doesn't really matter. So you need to keep everything in mind.
Okay, so it's a mix of getting the right angle and keep free from the other boats. So this is a nice view now. We can see the gate on the leeward gate. They're getting downwind closer to the gate. They can decide whether to take the left or the right hand side. And now I think the TOCVB, the club from Bonifacio, Club de Voile de Bonifacio, they are rounding the mark in the leading position. And they decided immediately to go to the right-hand side. Why do you think it's better? Does it really make sense to go to the right-hand side of the course?
Yes, because we can see in the forecast, we see a right shift coming in. So this is really important that they make some meters to the right side. I think it was the right decision from both these first boats. And they even, after some tax, they even go further on the right side. So they really expect this shift to be quite big.
So it seems to be, I mean, the ranking now shows that the club from Bonifacio is still leading. So that seems to be, I mean, they're from Corsica, a nice place. Everybody who ever went to Sardinia knows Bonifacio. So they are representing the Club de Voile de Bonifacio. It's close, right? I mean, 14 meters seems to be nothing. We can see there's always a switch between the Danish team, the Italian. The Italian, by the way, are representing Secolo della Vela Bari, a well-known club in the Champions League. They already won the real Champions League a couple of years ago. So they are here in the game as well. So it's pretty close. 16 meters is nothing, right? Or do you think it's a proper lead which you can take into the finish?
Big lefty there.
Yeah, the wind is shifting a lot. We see this ley line from the left side is coming more to the boats because we have a big left shift. So this is not really good, especially for the light blue boat there. So yeah, as you said, 40 meters is not much, especially with these heavy shifts. So, and Joni, our German competitor, seems to be in a decent position as well, like Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy. Yeah.
But you were able to see the strategy of the yellow boat very nice. So they were getting to the right to get a shift there, then keeping in the middle, good coverage on the whole fleet, and then the big lefty came in and they were able to tack immediately. Without getting any overheight on the ley line, which pays off now.
So very good performance from the guys from Bonifacio. They took the lead, and really I mean the lefty was so strong that the other boats who went to the right side of the course to the left-hand side, but it shifted so far that they can't really reach the first mark. And now the French team is already jibing away. Trying to control the fleet, and in order to get enough space and enough distance to the other boats, right? So they keep clear.
There was a penalty situation.
Yeah,
there was a penalty on third position, right?
Yeah, there was a penalty. I mean, this is what you just mentioned. The penalty are not coming from a jury. It's the algorithm who decides whether you got a penalty or not. And now we can see the lead of the French team is already like 66 meters, which is a nice lead. If they are now keeping the control to the finish, I think all the chance to bring this race home. We can see the finish line already, and now in the small mini map, there we can see which side of the race course has more wind. And it seems to me that the right-hand side of the course, and if we sail down the wind, it's the left-hand side of the course. They have more wind, right? I think tactically, I think it's the right decision from the French team.
They had more wind, but then we had a big left shift with wind coming in. So right now it changes. I think Roxy, for example, was one of the first boats to jibe. He seems to be in a decent position to get this new wind. Yeah, we need to wait how this plays out because the wind really dropped. The boats are not really fast. So this is going to be a close race.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Theo is going to win it, but behind that, it's close.
Yeah, Theo is going to win, and Roxy, it's as we mentioned in the beginning, Jonathan Koch from Bodensee Yacht Club Überling, a very complicated name. He's managed to get at least underneath the top fourth. He's trying to cover the other boats, but the French team is heading towards to the finish line. But there's another boat coming from Denmark, and they're pretty close, right? So now
he comes
away.
Close to Theo, but Theo has it in the back.
So nice win.
Pretty solid performance.
Nice win, and then we can see the German. So we probably finish fourth, right? Yes. The fourth place to Germany. Winner is the team from France. Well, good performance. Interesting race. Pretty shifty conditions, guys. I don't know how you see that, but it was not clear from the beginning. Here we can see very good the ranking. So the French team from Bonifacio from Corsica, they won with a proper 4-second lead, which is not much against the Fredrikssund Sail Club, so a small club from Denmark. They were second. Here we can see the ranking. Third, the team from JC Dago, a team from Lithuania, and on fourth position UOL Roxy, which is the Bodensee Yacht Club Überling with Jonathan Koch as a skipper. Well, this was, here we
what was impressive to see is that it was really close racing after the third place. So it was 3 positions within 2 seconds. It was quite close racing. The leading boat, they were gone maybe, but place 3 to 6, they were really close.
Yeah, I mean, this was how do you see this, guys? It was a very not easy race. Here you can see the up and downs. It's a nice overview about the statistic. The guy who's really constantly sailing was the French team from Bonifacio, third at the first mark, and then from then on he was leading till the end. But yes, you can see there are a lot of ups and downs. Look at the red line, for example, Way 97. Honestly speaking, I think it's a German club. I have to go into the list and double check this. But there are a lot of ups and downs. I think this is very much based on these ongoing wind shifts and gusts coming in from the left and from the right-hand side. Till, if you want to get a better perspective, if you go sailing, you have a crew who's observing the race course, and they can see whether there are clouds getting in and wind shifts. How is it in eSailing? How you can prognose and how you can look forward to any kind of wind shifts or gusts? What are the tricks? Where you have to focus at?
You just have to check the mini map quite often. That's the only tip. I mean, you can switch your camera and take a look at the water as well, but the best information is always a mini map, because you see the shifts and the color of the water, if it's darker or if it's not, so you can see if there's more or less wind. And you always have to check it every some seconds so that you can see the shifts we just saw. If you don't check it for 30 seconds and you miss this right shift right before the first mark, then you probably lose a lot of places. So that's way easier than in real sailing, but you have to keep an eye on it.
And when it comes to maneuvers, I mean, do you have to take into account that a jibe or a tack, do you lose meters, or is it more or less it doesn't really matter how many tacks you're going to do? Or because in real sailing, the more tacks you do, you're losing speed, and too much tacking, too much jibing sometimes is not good. I think within the eSailing game, it's quite different, right?
Yeah, tacking costs a little bit. I think it costs less than in regular sailing, but especially jibes are quite easy to do and you don't lose much. So jibing, if you get bad air, you jibe away. That's not any cost for you. The cost of sailing in the bad air would be worse. So that's a difference, yes.
You saw that on the yellow boat and the first downwind. They got some wind shadow 2 times, I guess, and they immediately tacked away 2 times. And the last 2 jibes, they were right close to the gate, which you normally won't do in normal racing.
Okay, I think we are now in Group B, as far as I'm right informed, and we are in the pre-start phase. We can see the starting line here from the perspective of the race committee. So the wind comes from the right-hand side of the monitor. We have Real Club Náutico Palma in this race. As I mentioned, the world champion in eSAILING, Juan Cardone from Real Club Náutico Palma. I think he should be in this group, right? If I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but this should be Group B. Yes, the guys from One Kiel are in this group as well. And I think Real Club Náutico Palma should be the Spanish team. We are looking at them. And now 1 minute to start, and the start is clear. So no pre-start. Two boats are correcting, so they jibed away. And they're heading off again more to the left-hand side, or do you see in the mini-map the middle of the course being a little bit better? What do you think, Till? What is the right angle now?
I mean, we don't know how the wind was when the start signal came, but right now it seems like we see a right shift coming. So we see a lot of boats tacking on the starboard side to go to the right side, because, as I said last race, they don't need to focus on having less wind. Like, they're sailing right now out of the wind, but that doesn't matter in this boat. So they go to the right hand side to get the right shift. And we see Joan Cardona has this pink boat with a unicorn in the sail. He's on the right side. He has a really good position.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah, we can see now you can see the ranking now. He's climbing up from 5th, 4th to, well, he's already 3rd. And there we can see he decided to go to the right-hand side of the course. So shifts are more important than pressure, right? Did I got you right?
Yes, that's the main point. And we see on the mini-map that the right shift is not ending so far. So I think it will be enough that he can cross from the right side to the middle of the course with that shift. And that will guarantee him a top 3 at the first mark. And this is everything you want in this race, because, as I said, consistency is so important, because you don't have any discards.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, here we can see this is, that's a nice maneuver. I mean, this was close to get a penalty. But these boats we can see in front of us, Aarhus, the blue boat, but they are obviously not on the right side of the course, so everything seems to be paid off on the right-hand side of the course, where the Spanish world champion, here we can see it, that's Juan Cardona, the world champion in eSAILING. He decided to go to the right-hand side of the course due to the shift, and it seems to be that it paid back. But there's another boat coming in. We can see now it's a Finnish boat, and you have to tack away. So it's really close if they heading off to the first mark, but he's still in a good controlling position, because I'm not sure now what the rules are going to say, but the leeward boat, the blue boat, can't jibe. So then he need to give him space to jibe before him. So it will be interesting to see. Even the black boat is getting in, but I think, yeah, now Juan, now he's tacking away. He has a proper lead. Very well done. So a perfect upwind course, I would say.
Yeah, it was perfect. He was a little lucky that when he came from the starboard side and tacked on the left-hand ley line, that the blue boat tacked just right in front of him, so he didn't get a penalty there. But right now, this looks really comfortable for him, and though it's not a bad team, but Joan Cardona is so experienced, so I think he will be able to hold on with that lead to the finish line.
I mean, there you can see the experience, but there's the Germans, One Kiel, a small club here where we are, by the way, the studio is located in Kiel. They're really close behind him. It's like 30 meters. So it will be interesting to see whether they are able to, control him or to attack him. I think we're going to see a split now. The Spanish team are going around the left-hand side of the course. One Kiel taking the other one. So there is a split, but we can see Juan is tacked immediately up the rounding to control One Kiel. It seems to me that everybody expecting a shift to the left, right?
It looks really difficult, but just when we talk about this maneuver Joan Cardona just did, that's something I missed. when you tag around the mark at the bottom gate, you don't lose any speed while you tag. So this is a really good maneuver if you want to take anyway. So it's better it's better to do this than to sail some meters and then tag. So he wanted to take the other mark but still have a control. So this is why he did it. But as we can see in the ranking, it's pretty close. But when one keel tags, he doesn't have room, so he has to duck Cardona. So I think Cardona still has the lead.
So now we're going to see the crossing. So one keel is getting closer. I think they're going to tag underneath him. No, that was a smart maneuver. So now one keel is leeward to him. So, well, that's a really good battle, isn't it? I mean, I expected them to tag. So they are leeward to him. They go a little bit deeper. But it's an interesting battle between these guys. So one keel is really attacking the Spanish. And everybody is expecting, even we need to look at the Finnish team. They are representing Alanska Sail Club Sales Capit, a club we know very well from the Champions League, the blue boat there. But one keel, they are really close to the world champion, aren't they?
Yes, and they have the advantage that the Finnish boat, they are close, but they're not really close. So when we go to the downwind, one keel can focus on attacking the Spanish boat. So we can imagine that this is going to be a really good fight for the first place.
This will be a match race between the German and the Spanish. So, but still, I see the Spanish in the lead. They are now attacking. They got the first mark with a proper lead of around 14 meters. And as you said, till between one keel and the Finnish team, there are like 20 meters. So a good distance. So it will be interesting to see how one keel, the black boat is going to attack the team from Spain. But it's already 30 meters. So I think with his experience, it will be tough for the Germans to attack them, right? So they are both heading to the right-hand side of the course. Now we can see the perspective of the Spanish team is like 70 meters already, which is a big lead. I think now they have an advantage of getting earlier into the fresh air, into more wind, which we are going to see on the left-hand side of the course, right?
Yeah, we saw that Joan Cardona just jibed away and one keel didn't respond. So this is a pretty clear sign that one keel just wants to protect the second place and don't attack. So we can see right now this is 50 meters and we are close to the finish line. So no chance for one keel to overtake. But still a really good first place because you just want to finish top 4 in this qualifier. So a top 3, top 4 rank in every race will guarantee that.
Yeah, nice win from Juan Cardona from Real Club Nautico Palma. The current world champion in eSAILING finished at first, second one keel from Germany, and third Alanska Sail Club from Finland. Very interesting to see, followed by a boat from Poland. They are representing the PCS Duxgut from Bralistok. Hard to pronounce, honestly, even as a German. Very nice race. And even there, the battle, you can see there, like 6, 7, and 8, they are still fighting for getting qualified. Because as you mentioned, it's all about reaching the top 4. Because the top 4 out of each group, and we are now in Group B, the top 4 after 5 races will be qualified into the final. And here we can see the ranking. Aarhus on place number 5. And there we have some general statistics. Who had the best start, best average speed. Interesting to see that the world champion had obviously the best speed. They had the shortest distance, which till, as you mentioned, it's all about, shorten the course, having the best strategy to get the wind shifts right. And even there, the team from Palma obviously made their best job. And they had the maximum wind speed as well. So even downwind, they decided to go to the right hand, to the best side of the course. They had obviously a little bit more wind. So they are pretty stable and pretty dominating. And there we can see underneath the top 5, there was no big changes. From mark number 2 on, It was a pretty constant race, even due to the fact that there were some shifts and some gusts coming in. But nevertheless, all 5 teams managed to control their position till the very end. So there was not much changes within this race, which is not always the case, you know.
Yeah, when we talk about players like Joan Cardona, you need to keep in mind, you see this UOL in front of his name, and we saw the same team tag at Jonathan Koch's team. So they both sail for a professional e-sailing team called Unicorns of Love. So you can already see they doing it on a more professional level than most of the other sailors. And it's not a big surprise that Cardona wins here.
Till, this is an interesting part. You're talking about professional e-sailing teams. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? What happened there the last couple of years? I would say the last 1.5 years. I heard about that there are professional e-sailing teams are founded, and they are doing nothing else than ongoing e-sailing. And do they get paid for that, or how does it work?
I mean, they don't really get paid, as far as I know, and it's not their job or anything like that. But still, they get supported. For example, you have this VIP access you can buy while playing this inshore game, which gives you a little bit more advantages here and there. And they pay for this, and they give some other advantages as well. But it's only in this growing process. So right now, Unicorns of Love. It's an organization from Hamburg, which is mainly focusing on other video games, but they thought maybe e-sailing is getting a big new thing in the future. And so they build this team around Uni and have a lot of really good players. I would say they are the best of the world. And we see other people from this team as well later on. And yeah, this is growing, but I don't know if it has a future that you can be an e-sailer as your job.
But Unicorn of Love is some kind of label for other esports also?
Yes. They have other games. I don't know exactly how many, but they have so many teams in different games, and they're quite successful.
So e-sailing is getting up to other sports in esports, right?
Yeah, maybe, hopefully.
Well, I mean, I heard that the Vendée Globe, they had about 1 million players, which is a lot. I mean, and even with the Nord Stream race, we managed to get more than 100,000 players for the offshore game, which is really a good number. Ole, you already joined the Nord Stream race in real sailing. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How is this kind of sailing for you as an inshore sailor?
Yeah, it was less than 100 competitors. That's the first point.
Yeah.
Like in the Nord Stream race. It was really, really nice. It was such a nice experience for me to have a long distance race, offshore race on these boats against the other champions from the other countries, getting to know them. I know now we have Corona. I don't know how it's going to be, but meeting the other teams, but the racing will be the same, and the racing is stunning on these boats.
Yeah. So we are 5 seconds for the next start in Group C. We have 12 boats there from Germany, Denmark, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Switzerland, Poland, and Finland. So it looks to me that obviously on the left-hand side of the course there is a little bit more wind, but we learned from Till, Ole, that it's not about the wind, it's more about the expecting wind shift. So what would you, as a non-professional e-sailor, what would be your call now for the side of the course, left or right?
Seeing the flags at the top of the mini-map, it's just the moment right now. So it's just some kind of prediction how it's going to be like in the future. So I think it looks more even. So right now I would just sail without any deflection and just going my way and observing how it's going to be. But
it looks really equal. You can see there, it's very equal. So they're on one line. And I would love to be the green boat controlling everybody, because you can decide when they're going to tack, because I don't see anybody, even the boat here in front of us with a red sail and the green and black sail, they can't tack, because if they tack, they have to give way. They are not in a controlled position, so the first boats are now attacking, and we can see
what they just did. They just did it. You see,
Yeah.
they just had the block. The other 3 or 4 boats were not able to tack, and they had the block, but they opened it, and now all the boats tacked, and they're going to right-hand shift. So
it's again a Spanish team, Ramon CNS. I think CNS stands for Club Náutico de Sevilla. So it's a Spanish team representing Sevilla here. This was a green boat. I would like to be on, as I just said, because they were able to control. But even the German Luke Willem, we can see here, it's a small club in Schleswig, which is right about 30 to 40 kilometers away from Kiel in the northern part. They are still there. But now we can see the Spanish team, they are tacking again, and they are again in a controlling position, right? I mean, they can decide when they're going to tack to the first mark, which they are now doing, but they shouldn't underestimate the right-hand side of the course where the pink boat is. So will be interesting to see if Luke Willem from Segelclub Schlei Segelclub, sorry, if he is able to cross in front of him, but it seems to me that he can tack underneath, right? Yes, he can do it. So the Spanish team, small, but still a good lead.
You asked me what I predict, and I wanted to say this, what we see right now, a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
Because everything, what you could see is that it will be really, really close at the windward mark.
Yeah.
No shifts, all the same speed. It will be really close, and it stays close. Nice race.
Look how close these boats are. I think from place number 7 till number 2, probably everything is possible. So it's all about the first downwind. Here we can see a nice angle. You can now see there is the gate, the leeward gate, where the teams can decide whether to take the left or the right-hand side. This is already a tactical decision, because then they decide to position them against the others, whether on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side of the course. But the Spanish team in pink, pretty dominating the race, right? I mean, they decided to go to the left-hand side of the course. They are in a proper lead. No, it's not the pink. Sorry, it's the green boat. It's not the pink. Pink is...
we had a really... Yeah.
There's Luke Willem from Schlei Segelclub. He is now on place number 2, but pretty close behind him. So, this was a fall from the Spanish team. Did you see that? Till, what happened?
I don't exactly saw what happened, but I just wanted to say something else. Why this is closer than it should have been, because we could see that there was wind on the left and the right hand side, but in the middle there was not too much. And Ramon, the green boat, tried to cover both sides, and that made it possible for Luke to gain some meters over the left hand side. So this is why it's so close.
So there's a guy from here, Luke Willem, the pink boat from Schlei Segelclub. Interesting to see that he tacked away. He was in controlling position, but he passed underneath the Spanish boat because he expect obviously a lefty, so a shift to the left to get more gains on the left-hand side of the course, right? But Till, is he right? Do you expect a left-hand shift as well?
I'm not sure right now. I think they have a left shift right now when we see it, but the forecast is more that it goes to even or more than a right shift. And I think with the room that Ramon has once he tagged, he will stay in the lead, because Luke Willem will never be able to cross in front of him. He will even maybe have problems to stay on the third rank.
Yeah, there we can see it was not a good call. So probably would have been better for Luke Willem from Germany, representing Schlei Segelclub, to heading off to the right-hand side of the course. And here we can see the boats really far on the right-hand side of the course. They could do some really good gains, or am I wrong? Because they got really close to the leading boats. The two green boats, Ramon there and KDY, it seems to be the Royal Danish Yacht Club, who's in the game as well. They're really getting closer, and Luke Willem is losing a lot of meters in comparison to all the boats who decided to go to the right-hand side of the course.
Yeah, he at least lost his second place. I think he's still third, but he was much closer to rank 1 than he is to rank 4 right now. But still, he's in a decent position if he can manage to hold the position on the downwind. But yeah, that was probably unnecessary.
So some are picking up the Jenneker earlier. It seems to be a big advantage. There we can see the Spanish team, they hoisted the Jenneker a little bit earlier, and they got a lot of gains. They are now leading by 44 meters, which is good, followed by the Royal Danish Yacht Club. So Felix is the name of the skipper, but he's representing Denmark, and the Royal Danish Yacht Club on second place now. So this will be all about covering the boats, and even for the Spanish team, for Ramon from the Club Nautico. No, sorry, this is the sorry. No, Ramon is representing Club Nautico Sevilla, and he has a proper lead of more than, I would say, 20 to 30 meters. There we can see him going downwind. There's already the finish line directly in front of him, so he's not covered by anybody. So this will be an interesting finish, but I think Ramon from Sevilla, they're going to manage to win the race. But it's close, and second probably the team from the Royal Danish Yacht Club there. He's, wow, that was really close, much closer than I thought, but a very good performance from Luke Willem. From Schley Segelclub. He finished third. Very, very close racing. He made a little bit of mistake in the second upwind course, but nevertheless, I think he can be happy with place number 3, right?
Yes, he can, because, finishing top 4 is good in this race. Especially Ramon, for example, he is the vice world champion last year. So it's going to be really hard to beat him. So I think he's happy with that third rank.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's another world champion from Spain. It seems to be that in the inshore game, in the offshore game, the French guys are really dominating. I think the Vendée Globe was more or less 80% covered by French people. But in inshore, the Spanish team seems to be really good, right?
Yes. It's not only the Spanish boat, there are other countries as well. But we sailed a lot against Spanish boats in the Nations League and in other team races and other stuff, and they're really skilled, yes.
I just heard that Group D, which we haven't looked at so far, so far it was all about A, B, and C, so we are switching from group to group. Now we're going to group number D. They already had a couple of races, overall 3 races. And each race counts. There's no discard. And as we learned, that it's all about achieving the top 4 positions. So in this case, this group is a colorful mix of teams from Bretagne. A French team is very dominating. He won the Brest-Bretagne Nautisme from France. He won already 3 races, so we have to take a look at him. Another team from Portugal is in this group, from Ginásio Club Naval de Faro, from Faro. They have overall 14 points with 2nd, 3rd, and 9th. They are in this group as well. On 3rd position in this group, it's Sweden, Germania Stans Yacht Club from Sweden. They have 14 points as well. First race 8, 2nd, 4th, 3rd race 2nd. So, and the Segelkameradschaft Waren Müritz, they are on position number 4 with 15 points. So they are all in this race. And we have how much to go? 1 minute and 15 seconds. So all the teams are preparing for themselves. Till we learned that some e-gamers are playing not alone. Sometimes they have a tactician who is looking at the race from the outside and give advice which side of the course is better. Do you have experience with this?
Not really. I always prefer to play alone. I think there can be an advantage to play with someone else, but I don't think that the top sailors are doing it, because it is possible to keep everything inside, every information you get. So I'm not a fan of it, but I heard that a lot of people are doing it, and some people had great success with it. So yeah.
But the top e-sailers, like the 2 world champion Juan and the guy we just saw from Spain as well, you think they are sailing alone, right? or do they have advice from the outside?
So, yes. Yeah, I didn't hear that any of these top players are playing with someone else. So I think they play so much. Not only the sailing Champions League or other races, they sail every day. So I don't think they sail with another person every day.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you have the choice to play this game whether on your iPhone or an iPad or even on a computer. What is the best solution for the players? iPhone or iPad? What is your preference?
I play it on a laptop, but I can't say what's the best because everyone prefers something else. I think phone. For me, phone is not too good because the display is a little too small. But I think the difference between iPad and computer are not that big. I just prefer to play with a keyboard, so not with the touch screen. So this is better for me. This is why I chose the laptop. But I think the most people are playing on iPads, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so we are in the last 30 seconds to the start. We can see all the boats are lining up to the starting line. It looks a little bit that everybody wants to start at the starting vessel, which is the right-hand side of the starting line, which is between the small boat, which we can see there. On the left-hand side, there's a mark. This is the starting area. So everybody wants to start at the starting vessel. Do they expect a shift to the right, obviously, right?
It seems so. You can see on the small flags in the mini map that there's a small right shift. There's stronger wind on the right side. Am I right? Yes, there's a little bit stronger wind on the right side of the course. So maybe this led to this starting lineup. We will see. So we have the pink boat. Who is it?
The pink boat is he's Azer. He's from the same team as Joni and John Cardona. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best. Maybe if you ask me, he's the best in the world, but you can't really measure that. He's a guy who won the first 3 races in his group, so he really lived up to my expectations. And he's leading again. So this guy is really skilled. Every time I sailed with or against him, it's going to be. It's always it's a pleasure, and it's really really impressive.
You seem to be perfectly right, because this is the team representing Brest-Bretagne Nautisme from France. He won all the 3 races in his group, in Group D already, and he's still leading the pack. So this is the pink boat. He had a very good start at the starting vessel. He decided to go to the right-hand side of the course. So far, obviously, the team from Austria, representing Yachtclub Breitenbrunnen, he's leading now. But let's wait and see what happens the closer they get to the first mark, which we can see here now pretty clear. There is a small shift to the right still, so I expect the teams from the right-hand side of the course to taking over the lead, but nobody knows until we are there. And we can see the French team, Unicom of Love from Brest-Bretagne, now let me double check his name, Nautisme. They are not leading, but under the top 4. So that will be interesting to see how it turns out to be at the first mark. So we can see some teams decided to go to the lay line on the right-hand side of the course. It looks better for me, but it can happen that there's a bit of a left shift the closer they get to the first mark.
Yeah, the ranking on the left side is always a little bit confusing because it just measures the distance from the boat to the mark. So they don't really take a look at the next shift. So they don't know if you're sailing high or low when you tack. So this is why it looked like someone else in the lead, but still it looks really good for the pink boat. But the Dutchman, Wouter, he's in the lead at the first mark, but it's really close.
Yeah, the Dutch team. I mean, Yachtclub Scheveningen. He's representing Yachtclub Scheveningen. He is in the lead, followed by, as you said, Till, probably one of the best e-sailers this year. He never became world champion, but he's from France, Brest-Bretagne Nautisme. He's as well part of this professional e-sailing team, Unicoms of Love. He's on second position, and it will be interesting to see the pink boat, how he's attacking. And he's really following the Dutch guys from Scheveling pretty close. I'm pretty sure as soon as the Dutch are jibing, he's jibing with them. Yes, exactly. It's what he's doing. And there's a battle between these two boats. And now he's, that was a typical attack, right? I mean, just cover them and follow them till, now he's in a really good controlling position. I think this was technically wise, perfectly made, right?
Yeah, there was just a normal textbook play when you're in this position. Now he can jibe at all time, and he has room. Then now he does it, so he can do whatever he wants. Can take the right gate mark with room. So yeah, he did everything right. But you have to say that when you're in this position, the French boat was, it's quite easy to be the attacker. It's super hard to be the defender when the attacker knows what to do. And yeah, he was second at the first mark, and now it looks totally comfortable to win this race because he's already 30 meters to the
very
Dutch
professional. I mean, and again, we saw this maneuver. You mentioned that when you're rounding the mark, immediately tacking means that you don't lose anything. I mean, this is part of this computer game, which is in the real sailing world, Ole, correct me if I'm wrong, not the case. A maneuver like that in the real sailing wouldn't work at all, right?
You have to be very skilled to do that. Normally, you have to clean up the boat after you drop the kite and round the mark, and you can't tack immediately. Sometimes we can. We trained today.
We tag early, but we lose a lot of speed. So we don't do it like these boats in this game do.
Yeah, because of the lazy crew, you know, they are not handled as a janiker. I mean, the skipper could do it, but the lazy crew, how can they do it?
You know what I'm talking about. You are used to sail with lazy crew.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're perfectly right. It doesn't work in real sailing. But this was a typical eSAILING maneuver, rounding and controlling position. And since then, now he has like 20 meters lead. I'm pretty sure when he's hoisting the janiker after rounding the first mark, he's really far away, so that there's no risk for him. It will be another win for him. That will be the fourth win for the team from Bretagne, from Nautism, from Brest. Nice surfer sport, by the way. And it's, they did everything perfectly right, and they are really doing a really good job. I mean, 3 races, won in a row, and the 4th race seems to be going to, again, a win to the teams from Brest. But perhaps we can take a look at the others. I mean, there is a team from Sweden all of a sudden, the Royal Swedish Yacht Club. Matthias skippering, and even the guy from Austria is still nearby. So the Royal Swedish Yacht Club, this race will be very important for them because they are on 5th position. If they want to be in the overall ranking in this group underneath the top 4, a 2nd place would be very, very important for them. So very good job from the guys from Sweden. There we can see it, Matthias, Royal Swedish Yacht Club on 2nd position. If they finish like that, and it seems to me that there is no big risk that they're going to lose the 2nd position, it will be for them overall very important to climb up the leaderboard in Group D and to get underneath the top 4. Let's take a look at the Germans, Segelkameradschaft Müritz. They were 4th before this race. I'm not so sure which boat it is, but I think
it's the boat on rank number 9 right now. It's
9, so
Matthias as well.
Now that's really tough for them because Matthias now he's on 9th position, and that's not easy. But so they already in the finish. So the French team won, 2nd Royal Swedish Yacht Club, 3rd team from Austria, which is the Yacht Club Breitenbrunn, and on 4th position Sweden, another Swedish team, Harding, Christian Harding. I think we all know him quite well. If it's Christian, I think it's him. We all know him from the Nord Stream race. On 5th position, the Dutch team, which I think during the race was 2nd. Here we can see it. So 4th to Sweden, 5th goes to Poland, a Trefoil Sailing Club. And 6 goes to Holland, which is the Yacht Club Scheveningen.
And Ollie, what we had a vice world champion again here in this flight. Acere, the winner, was vice world champion in 2019.
Wow. Okay. So,
So
interesting group. Interesting group. So there are a lot of world champion in e-sailing here, and you can see. I mean, it's like in sailing. You know, the more experience you have, you know, the more you can spend time on the water, the more you are familiar with every situation, and you make less mistakes. And less mistakes means that you're controlling. Here we can see, by the way, the pink boat. They were not leading from the beginning, but they were like kind of fourth place at the first upwind, already second at the first mark, and then from then on they controlled everything and took a proper lead. Second as well, pretty constant lead. A little bit ups and downs you can see there at the end of the fleet, but the guys who are familiar with these kind of sailing, they are stable, they don't do any mistakes. But I think, Ole, this is like real sailing, isn't it? I mean, the more experienced you are, the more you have the maneuvers under control, the more you are, you look at the shifts and the gusts getting in. If you are having everything under control, then you are winning a race. So we have more or less the same rules here.
True, it's true, and I don't know so much about e-sailing and how you can practice and how you can improve your performance. Till just talked a little about this, but in real sailing, you're right. It's the most important to be on the water, have hours on the water, and this is why we're here. This is why we are training here right now.
But when we're talking about hours on the water still, what do you think these top dogs, you know, the world champion like Juan Cardone from Palma, and even the other guys who are representing these professional, how much time do they spend with e-sailing every day? Do they sail every day?
I can't say exactly. I mean, I think they sail every day. It's safe to say. We have in this game, we have challenges to play every game, and then we have other games as well that are just organizing themselves. So I think they sail at least 1 or 2 hours every day. I say
1 or 2 hours every day. Wow.
Yeah, I think so. I think it depends on if you have any regattas or something, but I think these players, especially in these teams, they need to play a lot, and yeah, they do it.
I mean, the good thing is with an e-sailing, all you need to go on the water is you take your iPad or your iPhone, and then you're on the water. I mean, in real sailing, it's a little bit more demanding to get your cruise done and the boats and everything get prepared. So 2 hours sounds to me a lot every day. But there you can see that they don't do any mistakes. From the start, mark roundings, tactical decisions, they do everything right, which is a nice analogy into sailing. I mean, at the very end, if you take all the facts and figures together and you want to win a race, the more you control all elements, the better you are. And that's similar to real sailing. And by the way, real sailing, do you think that these, the position yourself before the start and, even controlling the race, whether you tack underneath, can you learn for real regatta sailing, or is it another world we are in here?
I think when you talk about these topics, it's pretty much another world, because the boat is way faster than when you want to get back to speed or when you want to tack. It's all a little bit faster. So if you do a mistake with your positioning, you can just change your position really quick. And if you do a mistake and get a penalty, you just get slowed for 10 seconds. So if that happens to you 20 seconds before the start, it's no problem. So there are big differences. And when we train starts in the real sailing, sometimes you just find yourself in positions where there's no way out. So this is not happening often.
So do you think the top sailors are former good sailors, or could it be a hockey player or a handball player or anybody else who is familiar with this game? How much sailing skills you need to be really good in e-sailing?
I mean, I think the most of these e-sailors, like the good e-sailors, are sailors in real life, and I think the best example is Johan Cardona because he sails in the Sail GP. So this is a really, really skilled field of competitors, and he's one of the best e-sailors as well. So that should probably explain it the best.
Yeah. Let's talk about real sailing. I think I just heard that we have a little bit more time until the last race is going to start. I don't know which group we are going to follow. We started with Group A, B, C, and D. So all groups had 4 races. So this will be now the final race for all the groups. So this is the last race of the day. And as we said, the leaders, the top 4 per group, they are qualified into the final. So 16 clubs overall. Let's talk a little bit. We have a little bit of time until the last race of the day is going to start about sailing. You guys are preparing yourself now for the German league. What is the situation there, Ole? You are, beside being a member of the Mühlenberger Yacht Club, the sail club, you are the president of the German league. So what's going on in Germany in terms of the German league? What do we expect for the next weeks and months within the Corona situation?
To be honest, I do not expect anything different from the last year. So last year we had Corona. This year we have Corona, but we are preparing the first 2 events. They're already planned, and I think they're booked, and everything is set. And we are planning a full season with 6 races. Everything is set for the races, and yeah, of course we cannot predict what's happening, but we keep our fingers crossed that we still cooperate good with all the government and everything, with all our strategies we have and testing strategies and things like that. We added them onto our normal hygienic concept, and I think it will work, and I think we will be sailing.
And I think the German sailors, they have a special status within these rules the German government line out, like, you know, who is allowed to sail and who's not. Bit of background about that. How did this work out? So they have more rights than the normal people.
Yes, we do have more rights because we are seen as a professional league, which we are, and we are seen like the national teams in other sports. So yeah, we have special rights. We are allowed to practice on the water. We have to follow strict rules when we are ashore, but we are allowed to go sailing, and this helps a lot. Of course, we are really thankful for that we have this special regulation for us, so we can go out on the water, which we do a lot. So here are so many teams here in Kiel right now. I think there are a lot of teams training right now in the south of Germany on the Lake Constance, and they are all preparing.
Well, that's good to hear. I hope we have the same situation everywhere around the world. So we have 1 minute to start for the last race. I think we're going back to Group A, or which group we are going to observe. I think this is Group A. Okay, so Group A. So there is, what is the situation in this group? You have 4 races, so there are a couple of seconds. Leading is Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen, a German club. Second is Warnemünder Yacht Club, Fredrikssund Sail Club from Denmark, and third is Club de Vol de Bonifacio. So these are the, so far, top 4 clubs who are qualified for the final. But there is still, you know, there's another team, a lot of teams are pretty nearby. So, but we're going to see how it's going to be. 15 seconds to the start. We're going to see here more boats on the pin end. So the left-hand side seems to be paid off, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to be a big of a difference, but still the left-hand side looks good. So the boats probably want to start there and find an early tag, but we will find out about that. Joni, for example, the leader overall for Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen, started on the pin end with a decent start, at least not the best start, but it's still okay because when I take a look at the results, he's almost guaranteed to get to the final because of the lead he got, and with that start, that should be possible too.
Yes, the Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen, which is in this called UOL Roxy Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen. This is Jonathan Koch. Very good performance so far. So race number 1 he was 4th, second he was second, race number 3 and 4 he won. So a very proper lead, and he's still underneath the top 4 boats. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. But another team from France here, Club de Vol de Bonifacio, is again leading the race. They are in a good controlling position, looks to me like this. Here we can see the guy from Germany, Jonathan Koch from Bodensee Yachtclub Überlingen, on 5th position, but it's over till it's over. And there are no big shifts, right? I mean, it seems to me that the direction was pretty stable. Or Till, how do you analyze the first upwind course?
Yeah, it seems like you just have to do as few maneuvers as possible just to keep your boat speed high. And Theo, the one who won the first race we observed, is doing that the best way right now and leading the field. But Joni should be close. He's right now already 2 meters ahead. So I think one of these 2 boats will refer to the first mark.
Yeah, it's an interesting split between the German and the French. You can see there the guys from Bonifacio, they decided to go through the middle or through the right-hand side of the course, and the Germans are coming from the left. The leaderboard is not so accurate as it is probably with the real tracking system, because they, as you mentioned, Till, they only measure the distance to the mark, so they don't take any wind shifts into account. But here we can see Theo is in a good controlling position. And the Danish team from Fredrikssund Sail Club, overall 3rd, they are now the leader of the pack. So they are in a leading position. And I think they are going to round the first mark in a proper lead, right? Yeah, we can see it. They already have ley line. They're in a good controlling position, followed by the French. And 3rd is the Munich Yacht Club. They had a good upwind course.
But again, super, super close. Like we expected it in the last race. No big wind shifts on the main upwind. In the last part of the upwind, we had a header on the right-hand side, so they had to bow down to the upwind mark, which put the whole fleet together in one pack.
Yeah, but the dominating crews are again the Fredrikssund Sail Club, already on 3rd position overall after 4 races. They are leading this race, so it seems to me that it seems to be pretty sure that they will be qualified to the final, as well as the Club de Vol de Bonifacio. They've been on 4th position overall before this race. They are 2nd here, and as well Unicom of Love, Bodensee Yachtclub Überlingen. They are here only on 5th position, but due to the fact they are overall, they have so less points, like overall 8 points, I think they're going to make it to the top 4 as well, if nothing really worse happened. But I expect the guys from Überlingen to attack again and getting back into probably top 3.
Yeah, right now it seems like the first 4 teams, that the French one, the Danish one, and the 2 Germans, they seem to be in a decent position, so I don't think that the top 4 after 4 races will be different than they are right now. And we see that Joni already came back to rank 3, so he did a nice comeback.
He's attacking. The Danish had not such a good mark rounding. It looks to me that he lost control, and this was the chance for the French team from Bonifacio to take over, and they are now in a good controlling position, but still I think so far the lead is whether the French or the Danish team, followed by Bodensee Yachtclub Überlingen, Jonathan Koch, as well top e-sailor. I think in the world ranking list, where is he, Till, overall?
I don't know exactly. I think he missed some challenges in the last week, so he's somewhere in the 20s, I guess. But he was ranked 3 in the beginning for a long time, so he's still up there with the top players.
Yeah. Again, this is another race, the 5th race in Group D. Yeah, the right-hand side comes back. But again, what I wanted to say is that in control are the teams who are really experienced, who know how this game works. They are shifts. It's not easy. They are making mistakes as well, but overall they still are able to control the fleet. The Danish are really struggling. They are far over the ley line. If this was a good decision, I'm not so sure. This is an opportunity for the Germans, for the Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen, to attack them. Because we can see there's a nice view. The pink boat there heading off to the right-hand side of the course, and the Danish team, they made 2 tacks. I think this was really worse. I mean, this was 2 tacks, and they lost a lot of meters. This gives Unicom of Lorf and Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen the opportunity to attack.
Yeah, the Danish boat did a big mistake there. They went until the ley line, and then the French boat covered them, so they needed to sail the whole distance in the to the first mark in the bad air of the French boat. So this is what caused this gap they have right now. That's 30 meters, and I think that means that the race is over, at least for the first, so that the Danish guy cannot overtake the French one anymore.
Yeah,
this is something you want to avoid in real racing, of course. Also, this is really expensive.
So this is the last downwind. They're heading down to the finish line, and in very good controlling position, the team from Bonifacio, from Corsica. They started into this last race on 4th position. I think this lead and this win will definitely deliver them at least a 2nd, perhaps a 3rd place overall. The Danish team from Friedrichsund Sail Club, they are on 2nd position. They were 3rd overall in this group, so even they should manage to get underneath the top 4. And on 3rd position is Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen. I think for them, after these constant series of 4 2nd and 2 wins, I'm pretty sure that they will be qualified as well for being qualified into the final. And there we can see the French boat very close to the finish line, a proper lead of more than 70 meters. Now they are in, and congratulations to France, to Bonifacio and Corsica. Very nice race. 2nd, Friedrichsund Sail Club, and 3rd, Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen with Jonathan Koch. And 4th will be, yes, it's another German club. It's the, Warnemünder Segelclub. This is interesting to see as well. They managed to get back on 4th position. They were 2nd overall. And it seems to me that the top 4, I'm pretty sure that the top 4 of this group, who were Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen, Warnemünder Segelclub, Friedrichsund Sail Club, and Club de Vol de Bonifacio, they are all underneath the top 5. That means they will definitely, in this group, in Group A, be qualified for the final. I hope we're going to have a final overview per group who is qualified. If not, if we are not able to get all the results in this short time frame, you're going to find all the results on our website on sailingchampionsleague.com, where you, by the way, find more information about the Champions League overall, about the eSailing Champions League, about the system, and about the final of the Sailing Champions League and the eSailing Champions League. And I'm really happy to announce you that now the 3rd qualifier is done. We're going to have pretty soon a final. So the final will be, for everybody who wants to follow us on YouTube and on Facebook, will be on Sunday, April 11th. So this will be the last final event. How the final system works, we're going to introduce you there, but even these details you can find on our website. Here we can see some nice statistics. Again, very constant performance from the teams from France, the team from Germany, and the Danish team. And as well, the other German team with Eric as a skipper finished 4th. So really, really good performance. So one question to my colleagues in the studio: do we gonna have an overall ranking overview per group, or is this not doable? Okay, we're going to get probably some results, so take your time that we're going to see which clubs are qualified. In the meantime, well, I could tell you, because we already had a couple of qualifiers already, and I can tell you which teams, countries and clubs are qualified. So we're going to have for the final from the other events, so we already had two, a team from Croatia, from Czech Republic, 3 teams from Denmark, like Sonderburg, Royal Danish Yacht Club, from France, from Marseille, from Nantes, from Germany, Blankeneser Segelclub, Hamburger Segelclub, Mühlenberger Segelclub, they are all qualified. A team from Düsseldorf is already qualified. From Great Britain, we have a team Stokes Bay Sailing Club. They are qualified for the final, which will happen on the 11th of April. From Italy, from Savoia, a team Circolo Velico Srevralo, Circolo della Vela Bari, winner of the Champions League. From Italy, Netherlands, Bovenwater. From Scheveningen, a team. From Poland, we have 3 teams already qualified. From Portugal, Club Naval de Cascais, they are qualified for the final. And from Spain, 2 teams from Sevilla. From Sweden, the Royal Swedish Yacht Club. And from Turkey, Istanbul Sailing Club from Turkey. They are already qualified for the final on the 11th of April. Yes, this is just a brief overview. My team is hardly working on getting a list of all these 4 groups. So all we want to know is which 4 clubs per group are qualified for the final out of this racing day today. I think it was interesting to watch. I hope everybody enjoyed eSAILING. It's had a lot of there are a lot of things similar to real sailing, so to say. I mean, we learned that technical decisions are important, the start is important, but most of all, we learned, Ole and Till, that experience and time on the water, even if it's a virtual water, is more or less everything.
Yeah, you can summarize it that well. It's just like, even in this, if it's just a game, you need to know what you do in certain situations, and this is the same when we go on the real water. That it just helps if you have, if you experience certain situations for a couple of times, so you know when a boat is coming from left-hand side, right-hand side. What do you do? Do you tack? Do you duck the boat? And you just learn it when you sail a lot in this game, and yeah, it helps obviously.
Yeah.
What I think is really impressive is that so many people play this esports right now and this e-sailing. So it's something for everybody. Maybe you're a good regatta sailor or you're not a good regatta sailor. It doesn't matter. You can learn the skills, maybe not on this level, what we just saw, but you can compete. There is a German league you can compete, and I think it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in the German league already. And for me, it was good fun to have it here today on the Champions League. Thank you for having us on the sofa here.
Yeah, on Grandma's sofa.
On Grandma's sofa, that was good fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And I just heard from my colleagues at the studio that we have now the ranking. This is Group A. So we're going to see the top 4 clubs. As I already mentioned, this was the last race we joined. So who is qualified for the final, which will going to happen on April 11? It's the Bodensee Yacht Club Überlingen, it's the Warnemünder Segelclub, and it's the Fredriksson Sail Club and Club de Voile de Bonifacio, so 1 team from Corsica. So unfortunately, all other clubs didn't made it to the final. So this is Group A and the results of Group A. This is Group B. There we're going to see Real Club Nautico de Palma. I mean, very good performance. Look at what he's done. I mean, 1 second, 6, and another win. And the guys from One Kiel, I mean, they were really dominating the German sailing league, the real sailing league, not the eSAILING league last year. They are 2nd overall. Congratulations to them, 24 points. And then a team from Poland, ACS Polityka Rescocka, sorry for not pronouncing this right, on 3rd position. And another club from Sweden, which is Marseille-Bock Sailing Club. I don't even know where this exactly lies, but it seems to be a small club somewhere in Denmark. So this is Group B. So the top 4, congratulations to them out of Group B. They are qualified for the final. In Group C, we have the Club Nautico from Sevilla, Schlei Segel Club with Nick Willem as a skipper, the Royal Danish Yacht Club, and we have one team from Portugal, which is the Club We Do Sailing from Portugal. They are top 4 ranked, these 4 clubs. Congratulations to all these clubs and countries, and we are looking forward to see you at the final on the 11th of April. And Group D, last but not least, the last group of the day is the Brest-Bretagne Nautism, which a very, very good performance. So 4 races in a row they won, and a 3rd position. Then Kamaistads Yacht Club from Sweden on 2nd, another Swedish club which we know very well from the Nord Stream race and from this Swedish league is the Royal Swedish Yacht Club. And another German club from Segelkameradschaft Waren-Müritz. They made it on 4th position. Even they are qualified for the final at the 11th of April. So welcome, congratulations to all the teams who made it happen. It was interesting sailing today. Thank you to Ole and to Till who joined us from Grandma's Sofa. So they came back from a training session in Kiel. There we can see them, guys. It was great to have you here as a team. Till has a lot of experience in sailing, in eSAILING and in sailing, so it was interesting with you guys to moderate this. Ole, thank you for joining us as well. So I think you are pretty hungry now after having one day on the water with like 5 to 6 degrees, so that's a different to if you'd practice in the northern part of Europe.
It was nice that we could. It was nice that we could be part of this because the other 2 guys already cooked and everything is ready. So we go for dinner now.
That's good to know.
Yes.
So thank you very much for joining, and for all the spectators, and thank you that you follow the eSAILING Champions League. It was good to have you here. We're going to see each other again on the 11th of April. There will be the final. So all the top ranked clubs from all these different groups will be seen in the final at the 11th of April. Yes, all I have to say, the rest you're going to find on our website, on Facebook, on Instagram. Follow us, join us, and I hope to see you soon again. And I say goodbye and thank you very much.
Battle for your Birchie.